Richard Gough, as ever, at the head of the Rangers line.
Well, just listen to the noise that we hear when these two teams take the field.
Yes, 50,000 here to emphasise that the word fan is short for fanatic. By the standards of the rivalry between these two clubs, this is an exceptional occasion. Celtic back on top after more than a year. Rangers supporters desperate for this 9th title in a row. An achievement that's been rammed down their throats for more than 20 years since the league trophy came here for a 9th successive season for Celtic back in 1974. Well, Stuart Kerr, who was 22 years old yesterday, has come into the side recently, and he's actually a pupil of the goalkeeper at the other end, Andy Gorham. They were together at Hibs when Gorham was the senior player. Kerr was just a junior on schoolboy forms, but Andy Gorham has broken Celtic hearts in the past, and what an occasion for him to find his fitness and come back after this hip problem.
I tell you what, before the match, Martin, you can imagine both dressing rooms and how Celtic were so anxious to know, would this man there, would he be fit? Would he be wearing that #1 jersey? And I just think, after all he's done in the last few seasons against Celtic, how they must have been a little disappointed he was there. And as for Stuart Kerr, he may have played, Martin, but nothing can prepare you for what's ahead. He'll want a touch of the ball early, a nice clean touch, and then he'll take it from there. But this is new. This is something to savour.
Hugh Dallas from Motherwell is tonight's referee. Talk of the biggest demand for tickets since Real Madrid came here for a European quarter-final back in 1980. Celtic very much together these days. Rangers at the moment having a rocky spell. But what they have done in the past when playing Celtic, at times they haven't been the better team, but they've usually come away with the better end of the result. Judgment Night Part 2 is perhaps slightly stretching the point. No titles can be won or lost, but as a pointer for who'll be Holyfield and who'll be Tyson at the end of the season, it is such a meaningful match. Celtic attacked the goal to the right in the first half. The weather's been pretty good in Glasgow in the build-up to a match that takes in everyone's interest.
And both teams lined up exactly as we thought on the graphic, Martin. Celtic 4-4-2, Rangers very much in that formation with two holding midfield players, and Alberts and Gascoigne slightly ahead of those.
O'Neill to Tomboy and Grant. Alan Stubbs, the Englishman, coming to terms with what a match of this magnitude means. Of course, the two clubs have met already this season at Ibrox. Rangers winning by 2-0. The second crucial goal coming just after Celtic had hit the woodwork at the other end, and Rangers broke to wrap it all up with Gascoigne. Alberts, well fed by Laudrup. Here's Robertson on the move. One of the few Scottish-born players in the Rangers side tonight. McInnes is another, a true Rangers fan, given the chance to live out his dreams. Laudrup. Gascoigne. So often the focal figure, but just one of a cast tonight trying to come up with a crucial result. Gorham, whose hip problem has really been causing most difficulty in terms of kicking the ball. Didn't really connect cleanly, but didn't show any signs of grimacing. Weghorst, Celtic's day. Donnelly. Back from Van Hooydonk. McNamara, who's been developing a very comfortable right-sided partnership with Donnelly. Further forward, it's Di Canio. Richard Gough was penalised. That's the Rangers part of the ground where this incident took place. Around 8,000 visiting fans letting Di Canio know that they thought he died.
Well, I think he made the most of it. I think it was a free kick, but he made more of it than there really was. But that doesn't matter. It's a free kick early on, and it allows Celtic to put quality in the box if they want, and let people go and attack it.
And the referee just had a word with Di Canio about, I think, reacting to the fans. Header by Grant was a good one. This is Stubbs trying to clip it across. Yeah. It flopped into Gorham's grateful grasp.
I'm not sure who it came off either. When they went to sleep a little, Rangers, and Stubbs was allowed to get the cross. And as it came over, Gascoigne and Petric both go for it. I think they're quite happy that it just dropped into Andy Gorham's arms. Very similar to an awful lot of Rangers-Celtic games that I've seen. Early on, Celtic starting the more confident in the match.
Grant. Just tucking it down for Boyd. He was part of Scotland's successful win over Sweden, aiding the World Cup qualification hopes. Of course, one of the Rangers players, Björklund here, was on the beaten Swedish side at Ibrox, his home ground, on Sunday. Laudrup. There's a Van Hooydonk who got close to McInnes and forced the error. Di Canio, who's been in excellent form recently. Tom. Now Donnelly. Weghorst. McNamara to try and whip it in. Donnelly's first touch was excellent, and it takes the touch off Björklund.
Lovely football from Celtic. That really was a very cool, patient build-up. When you look at the space Donnelly's got here, he'll be a little disappointed that he hit Björklund with that. Had an opportunity to put in a really telling ball.
Oh, Gascoigne got pushed quite clearly there, and if there were any aggressive thoughts in his mind because of this, he certainly got himself together pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can see that Brian O'Neill really making a really determined bid to get there, but there was no way he was going to get through Gascoigne unless he fouled him.
Well, Rangers, just to remind you, will go back on top if they win. A draw, of course, a Celtic win would keep the home side tonight on top of the table. Robertson almost got in behind McNamara.
He does that ever so well, David Robertson. He's as good as I've seen left side at getting forward and causing people problems. And when you look at the formation Rangers have got out tonight, it's going to be important that both he and Cleland do that if Rangers are going to succeed.
There's Craig Moore. They're trying to perhaps catch out on any early nerves for Stuart Kerr. It's beyond the goalkeeper. Di Canio. Here's the German, Tom. Really got to go it alone. And now Czech's waiting for support, which was arriving right and left. Gorham's kick goes straight to Weghorst. Tom again, who's not been on a winning Celtic side against Rangers. And he's been saying over the past couple of days it's time to put that right. Boyd. And still, Van Hooydonk. The challenge came from Gough. The decision is a goal kick.
And the claim for the penalty came from the fans. And it's noticeable, Pierre Van Hooydonk just got to his feet to get on with it. But Tom Boyd does ever so well, wide on the left. And he plays a decent ball in. It's not easy to control. He's under pressure from Richard Gough. He can't quite get his first touch right. But Tommy Byrne, sorry Mark, will be delighted with the start his side have made in the opening 7 minutes. But he'll be very conscious of the fact that he's seen this many times before. And what he'll want is that apart from the good play, he'll want a goal.
There's a slip by O'Neill, and Laudrup's away, and Rangers look for a goal and get one! In the 8th minute from Brian Laudrup.
Well, how many times have you and I sat and witnessed this? A good positive start from the home side. One mistake, and when you have someone of the world class of Brian Laudrup, you just can't make a mistake. Look, but he's got 40 yards to go. It's not over and done with. He's got a bit of football in him. Alan Stubbs doesn't close him down, in my opinion, quick enough or well enough, because he allows Laudrup time to drill it past not only him, but to drill it past Stuart Kerr. Rangers' first real sortie, and it's a punishing one.
A tale of two Brians. Brian O'Neill made the slip. Brian Laudrup took maximum advantage of it. And the player who picked up an award as Scotland's man of last month only yesterday has given the Hunters, as he's been calling his Rangers team, in second place. Unusual situation for them against the hunted Celtic. Well, we've talked a lot already about the psychology of this particular fixture. And, well, although Celtic have bags of time to recover if they can, this is a major blow to the mental side of the evening for them. Gascoigne. Albets. Robertson on the move. And this time, O'Neill gets it away. Donnelly.
Well, you can build and build and build Old Firm matches, Martin, up to a point where sometimes you're a little disappointed. But I think the one thing that's always made classic Old Firm encounters over recent years has been a goal, maybe in the opening 15, 20 minutes. We have a goal in the opening 10.
Donnelly. Celtic have another corner. Rangers have the lead. Alan Stubbs joins the posse in the centre. O'Neill. It's another corner. Already blood spilt. Rangers. Richard Gough. And it was Gough who didn't flinch with the clearance. Back from Boyd. Nicely spotted by Grant. Donnelly on to Di Canio. Celtic have three in the centre, and Donnelly waiting on the edge. Di Canio trying to get a yard on Robertson and get the ball across. Tidied up by Cleland.
A good response. It's exactly what Tommy Burns would have wanted, a positive response from his side. He's quickly come from that seat in the stand down to the touchline, trying to make one or two orders, maybe change one or two little things, but he'll be pleased with the response of his side. Immediately back on the attack again.
All the Celtic players trying to sort themselves out. The Celtic fans are pretty stunned. A real change in the atmosphere. Rapture, of course, for the Rangers followers. Björklund, who is a true defender.
And he's quick. And I think if ever they needed that, it was then.
Di Canio. And that was Petric who got it away that time. Tom. Now O'Neill. Donnelly. Well, he was shuffled down a cul-de-sac by Rangers then. And Di Canio is flagged offside. Andy, what do you make of this Rangers formation with the two screening players, McInnes and Moore?
Well, if ever they needed those two, it'll be now, Martin, having gone one up. I think what it allows, it does allow three centre-backs, and I think Petric, Goff and Bjorkle in particular, to just protect the 18-yard line, not to be any wider than, I would say, 20 yards covering the three of you. If Rangers are going to defend well, it allows those two to play in front of them at the edge of the box, so that none of the three centre-backs is drawn out of position. And then with, of course, Robertson and Cleland tucking back, and when they're defending, it does give them that almost 7 men across the edge of the 18-yard box that Celtic have to break down.
And Celtic playing a dangerous game here.
Yeah, they're playing a confident game, and I think that's a measure of the way they're playing at the moment.
Form, of course, tends to fly out of the window when these fixtures come around, but Celtic have played 5-1-5 at home in the Premier Division this season. It's only the third goal they've conceded in the league on this ground, but the repercussions of it could be enormous. Brian Laudrup, in defence of Brian O'Neill, he could have made that mistake against lesser talents and got away with it. Not when Laudrup was around.
There's a host of players who would have quite happily lost possession to 40 yards from goal. And I think there's even a few wearing blue jerseys who would quite happily have lost possession to there. The one he wouldn't have was a man he did lose it to.
In his relatively short time in Scotland, Paul Gascoigne has responded very positively to the demands of this fixture. Has a good record against Celtic and is a young man trying very much to keep himself under control. Came through well for England in Georgia, was particularly effective as the match wore on in keeping the ball as England kept the lead in Tbilisi last Saturday. Tom.
I think Rangers will be quite happy to concede possession in the kind of areas that Brian O'Neill and Alan Stubbs have the ball at the moment. I don't think they'll be too keen to pull men out. But what they will say is, OK, we'll give you it there, but when you come into the last stop, that's when you've got to do something special if you want to create something.
It's a very good idea from Stubbs with the pass, but it was Gascoigne who was helping out Cleland on that far side, defending for Rangers. Here's McNamara. Oh, and Weghorst is in here for Celtic. And one Dane had scored at one end, and the other had a great opportunity to equalise at the other.
Well, David Robertson gets tucked away. You can see him down at the bottom of the screen. He gets drawn out, and that creates a huge gap. There's a little bit of fortune that the ball reached Weghorst, but really at this level, Laudrup showed what you've got to do, Martin. You must make the goalkeeper work, that's the thing. So one thing you must do, he'll be disappointed that he's got under it, got it up and over. Make Andy Gorham work, that would have been the order of the day.
So here's Boyd. The big moments in the opening 15 minutes going the way of Rangers. McInnes. Alberts.
That's what it's going to be hard for Rangers, Martin, because they haven't anyone up there who they can just play it up to and say, get hold of it and keep the ball for a bit. Brian Laudrup, very much a rover up front, and it'll be difficult for Rangers to play the ball up and get someone to hold on to it. And there I think we'll see that Celtic do have an awful lot of possession. But it's one thing having possession, it's another thing making it count.
Free kick was given against Van Hooijdonk, whose contractual uncertainty with Celtic has got a host of scouts here at the game tonight. A good number from English clubs, we believe. Celtic, of course, hope that it can all be resolved and he will stay. Made a big impact, the Dutchman, in the Scottish game. Stubbs. Boyd to take on Gascoigne and whip the cross in. Picked off by the head of Petric. Gascoigne trying to get it out, but not with any of his customary deliberation. Here's Andy Todd. That's what Craig Moore's in there to do, hassle and harry and stop Celtic passing the ball with control into the Rangers penalty area, but it might come in now. midfield player who, of course, is Celtic to the core, Peter Grant.
Yeah, it's not the best ball in, but you see the two lads, 7 and 9, McInnes and Moore, just playing ahead of that centre-back trio, and that's the kind of area he wants. Peter Grant, not noted for his striking ability, certainly, but a little bit underneath it.
We should point out, Andy, that for Celtic to be in this position going into this match as league leaders, it does represent significant improvement over the last couple of years. Now there's another step forward to be taken. But of course it never was going to be an easy one, and having conceded the first goal this evening, it's going to be that much harder.
And I think when you look at results between these two over the last couple of years, Martin, the next step forward would seem an obvious one. It's Celtic beating Rangers and going from there.
It hasn't happened for Tommy Burns in his time as management here. The last win was at Hampden in May 1995, I should say. And that really was a match that didn't matter too much in the league stakes. This certainly matters. Alberts has stayed down on the halfway line. He really is a strong man, and he didn't stay down for long. £4 million from Hamburg. A couple of appearances already for Germany. Hugh Dallas, who has been in charge of an Old Firm game once before, is the match that finished 3-3. Gascoigne. Dispossessed by Weghorst. Di Canio wanted it into feet. Petric. Moore getting forward to try and support Laudrup that time. Maybe flick it on for the Dane. McInnes. Well, it's going to be a booking for Boyd for just laying hands on Laudrup.
Yeah, Brian Laudrup was making a lovely little run in behind Tom Boyd. And a little pull at the jersey. And I think when you do that, I don't think you could have any argument if the referee brings out a yellow card.
"20 minutes gone, Rangers already in the lead. Maybe a chance to really improve their position here. Alberts, and with a relatively untried goalkeeper, you can see what was in his mind.
I'm not so sure that's not his first touch. Apart from picking it out the back of the net, Stuart Kerr's played 20 minutes of an Old Firm match, his first, and that might well be the first time he's been called in to do anything, get a touch of the ball.
Tom. Di Canio. Rangers wanted offside, they're not going to get it. Celtic do get a corner, and there's still a bit of a fleeting going on at the assistant referee on this near side. Di Canio will take the corner. Goalkeeper didn't really command the situation. Plenty of bodies for him to try and fight his way through, Andy Gorham.
The game came all the way. I think it's always dangerous, always dodgy if you come into that many bodies. Andy Gorham's not the biggest, most imposing goalkeeper. So when he comes that far, he's really got to make sure.
Laudrup. Elusive again. Gascoigne trying to keep pace in the centre. Alberts has got forward as well. It's Alberts.
Well, that's the ploy, Mark. That's the ploy for Laudrup to break like that, and for Gascoigne and Alberts to get in support. And both did the job. You know, and when you see that, that's half a chance. Wonderful run. Now, Laudrup doesn't cross this immediately because no one's with him. He's left everybody behind, so he pulls it back. That gives Gascoigne and Albert's time to get into the box. And it comes over. It's a decent height, a decent distance, just didn't get enough power in the header.
Well, all this while you're looking at that replay, Andy, Di Canio is getting booked for an incident right in front of the assistant referee on this near side involving Richard Gough, who is also in need of some attention for that bloodied nose. Van Hooydonk's got involved for some reason. Weghorst has dragged him away.
I think what you'd ask is saying to Richard Gough, you've got to cut and you've got to get off the pitch to get it treated. Obviously Gough didn't want to go off.
But it's a second Celtic booking. Well, Di Canio knows a thing or two about derbies from his time in Italy, with Juventus against Torino, Milan against Inter, Lazio against Roma. Pretty heated occasions. Well, Richard Gough says it looks as though he will be leaving Ibrox at the end of the season, but he's keeping his options open. He's certainly not leaving this game. Walter Smith and Archie Knox, Davy Dodds there as well. Little meeting of the minds, all the backroom staff. And the referee feeling now being pursued. Celtic feeling that the free kick had been taken and Van Hooijdonk should have gone on, Andy.
Well, this is what happens here. His foot's on the ball. Now that's certainly not taken. When you can understand the upset, it's very similar to an incident that went down at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Tottenham involving Terry Sheringham. Very similar. But I think you could see from that, that was certainly no intent in taking a free kick from Richard Gough.
And now there's more for Hugh Dallas to deal with.
Well, every decision that goes against Celtic now is going to be greeted with this sort of noise. I mean, that's a free kick, it's as simple as that. There can't be an argument about it. Not so sure it's a booking, I have to say, but it's certainly a free kick.
Stubbs is booked. Well, you do feel at the moment that Celtic's chances in this match depend most of all on their self-control, if they can maintain it. In danger of losing the grip on the reality of the situation. Gascoigne eyeing up the free kick.
Well, you've got the craft of Gascoigne, haven't you? And you've got the power of Albertz. I mean, take your pick.
Celtic have got 4 in the wall. Gascoigne has certainly got the quality to bend it past, but it's Albertz to power it into the line of 4. And here's Di Canio. And the challenge was by McInnes, who was struggling to keep pace with the Italian.
Well, that'll be a booking. Di Canio's away from McInnes. Just gets a touch to the ball there. McInnes goes to ground. There can only be one result. Yellow card.
Yellow for McInnes. The first Rangers player to receive a caution. So in a not dissimilar situation to that which was confronted by Gascoigne and Albertz a moment or two ago. It's Celtic to challenge Gorham through Van Hooijdonk. He doesn't really seem to be disguising his intentions. And Gorham got to it with outstretched arms and strong fists.
Well, he got there. I didn't think he would be beaten. This is a sort of distance, well, if it beats Andy Gorham, you'd need to think it would be in the top corner.
Grant. Donnelly. They're lining up in the centre. Well played by Gorham, not once but twice.
Yeah, that was a save.
And his teammates dragging Donnelly out of the way. And once more, as Donnelly, I think, was quite entitled to have a bite at it.
Yeah, you better believe it. Andy Gorham did brilliantly. He guessed what Donnelly was going to do. Rangers come out looking for offside from the flick there, but you can see Donnelly's not. Now watch Gorham. Then he goes. That's brilliant goalkeeping. But Donnelly's entitled to go after it again. Didn't quite catch him. But the way this game's been played just now, any little incident like that, players are going to get upset. But that was super goalkeeping. He gets up quickly. Donnelly's entitled to go for it. You see he doesn't catch Gorham, but I think he's entitled to go after the ball.
Well, I can't think of anywhere else in the world where you see football played with this passion. It is leading to difficult times for referee Hugh Dallas. The spectators driving on the players to operate here with their emotions as well as with their talents. And Rangers lead Celtic at Parkhead by the Brian Laudrup goal still. Ricardo wasn't going to get anything for that.
No, you can always tell players' reactions are good ones. There was no complaint from the Italian. He got quickly up. Well, he's offside.
Well, he was offside straight away, but the flag didn't go up straight away.
No, it didn't. I mean, he's right. He got it right at last, you would say, or eventually. But Laudrup was offside. He's really late. Look at Laudrup's run. The ball's played now. Now you can see he's 3-4 yards. Now look at the linesman on the far side. He took a little bit of time, but eventually he got it right.
Yes, and to be fair to the official, for half a second Laudrup was heading back towards the halfway line. Then he couldn't resist going for the ball, and once he made that move, of course, the flag had to go up. Almost half an hour gone. O'Neill. Earlier cross this time, but comfortable for Gorham. Been a little bit of controversy. Andy Gorham's had a fair amount of work to do in the Rangers penalty area. A bit of controversy about Gorham not being able to be in the Scotland squad last weekend, but being fit for this match tonight. But 5 days, a long time in football.
It is a very long time. I think it's unfair criticism that the goalkeepers had to endure. I know from past experiences that even 24, 48 hours can make a huge difference if you're fighting to be fit. And 5 days, well, that's an awful long time. You can do an awful lot of treatment in 5 days.
Maybe wishful thinking from the Celtic followers who, with all respect to Theo Snelders, who's a fine goalkeeper, would have played tonight if Gorham hadn't passed himself fit. But Celtic have seen too much of Gorham, they feel. And he's here at the moment. He's kept them out for half an hour. Advantage played for Di Canio. McNamara, but Van Hooydonk was waiting in the centre, not towards the far post. Cleland pressed by Donnelly, drops for Boyd. Tom, caught by Moore, free kick to Celtic. Craig Moore, the Australian.
Just he's a fraction late here. He makes an honest attempt, I think, to get the ball, but Tom was just a fraction too quick for him.
Now, what can Celtic make of this situation? Three over the ball. Tom, Van Hooydonk and Di Canio.
Well, it's ambitious if Van Hooydonk's going to try it from there. If he puts this in from there, that will be something special.
That's what he's trying to do. And Andy Gorham knew exactly where it was going, and it wasn't going to disconcert him.
I'm a little surprised that Van Hooydonk would be tempted away out there, Martin. I mean, the ball's that wide. I would have thought, get in the middle. 6'3", 4", We'll get someone to deliver it. You go and power your way in with a header. What was interesting was the action areas a moment ago. Now Celtic have really dominated that. Pressed and pressed and pressed. But, as I said, 15, 20 minutes ago, possession is one thing and pressure is one thing. It's goals that win football matches.
Laudrup, who went weak-kneed for a second, and soon recovered his strength. This is Cleland, and the goalkeeper could have been left high and dry there.
Well, I think Alan Stubbs made the right decision to eventually get across here, because I think the goalkeeper would have been high and dry. I don't think he would have got to Cleland. I think Cleland would have nicked this past Stuart Kerr. I think he's happy to see his skipper come across and sweep up.
Jörg Alberts will take the corner. Goff hoping to deal with it, but Boyd beat him to it. Rangers will try again from the left this time. Plenty of height in the Rangers side. And beating the ground in frustration with Petic. It's just nicked away from him. But he can stay forward because Rangers have now got a free kick. Gascoigne saying, leave it to me. But Alberts also wants to be involved.
He'll be shattered, Alberts, if he's not careful. Corner from the right, corner from the left, free kick from the right. He's taking them all.
Out by Van Hooijdonk. Celtic have pulled everyone back. Donnelly trying to get to Robertson. Seen well by Stubbs, who was prepared to have a look as the ball was dropping just to see where he could steer it to get Celtic going forward. With Jackie McNamara, whose father used to play for Celtic and was never on the winning side against Rangers. That was 20 years ago, and it's a similar story so far for Jackie Jr. Di Canio. Well, really, if Rangers pin their hopes on Laudrup, Di Canio offers the same sort of optimism for Celtic, but Laudrup and Rangers leading the way with 10 minutes to go to half-time. Robertson. Now Stubbs. In this difficult period that Rangers have been enduring over the last 6 weeks or so, particularly in Europe, of course. They haven't had the best of fortunes with injury. Stuart McCall missing, Gordon Jury, Alan McLaren. Ian Durrant's also had a knee problem diagnosed this week. Well, it's so many matches to bring you on Sky Sports over the next few days. A bit of a Rangers-Celtic feeling tomorrow night with Anton Rogan playing for Millwall, Jimmy Nicholl, the manager of Millwall. First round of the FA Cup at Woking. So, very much in the high ranks of the non-league scene. Live for you tomorrow night. Hooijdonk letting it run, maybe on a call from Donnelly. And it's another free kick, but I think that spell of hot temper which brought a succession of bookings has just eased a little bit. Richard Gough will take the free kick. McNamara pushed back by Robertson. He seemed to get the last touch then. And it is a Celtic throw. Gough. Gascoigne. It's McInnes. In Celtic's last 50 league games, they've lost only twice, both to Rangers. And that shows how failure in the Old Firm matches can mean the difference between being champions and also Rams.
And that's not the kind of ball that they're going to be playing. They've got to be patient. I know it's difficult. The fans want them to go forward. But that kind of straight ball mapping that they play is food and drink for the likes of Gough, Petric and Bjorkman. It needs to be better than that.
Rangers defending well forward with Gascoigne's chasing. McNamara and Hoydonk the target. Trying to sweep it wide for Weghorst. It got there. Donnelly keeping the shape on the right-hand side. Grant. Rangers have got plenty of players back. Tom. Donnelly coming in from his berth wide on the right. And Hoydonk feeling the challenge in his back, but the referee spotting nothing untoward. And Celtic have to start all over again. But hang on, they've given the ball to Laudrup, and Rangers are in again. And Laudrup denied by Kerr this time. Well played, the young goalkeeper. That could be a priceless save for Celtic.
Well, that's kept Celtic in the football match. It's as simple as this. And you'd have put your money on Laudrup to score there, having done so earlier on.
Here's Di Canio. Well found by Van Hooijdonk and Di Canio. But almost more suicidal work from Celtic.
It just shows that at the very highest level how you just can't, particularly defending, make mistakes.
This is Weghorst. McNamara. Now Donnelly. Celtic trying to be patient, difficult with the fans baying for an equalizer. McNamara looking for a little hole to try and explore there. And Hoydonk's only headed it straight at Alberts. And there was a ball onto the right-hand side that Alberts didn't see to Moore, but Laudrup takes it up now, and there are problems for Celtic again. He's got two to the right. This is Cleland. Moore's in the centre, back for Laudrup again. That's Alberts trying to convert the cross.
Well, back Donnelly, I tell you, Simon Donnelly made so much ground. And that's a great example of a wide man getting back, because he felt sure Alberts was just going to tuck it away. And now Donnelly's at the other end.
And he's got Tom to help him. Still Andy Tom. Well, the game got spread then, but Rangers have recovered. And this after Laudrup from that wasteful attempted pass from Boyd, I think it was, but it was taken up by Laudrup.
Good goalkeeper. He stood, he never committed himself early. Young Stuart Kerr, he really stood his ground.
Hooked away by Moore. All Celtic get is a throw. Grant. It was a bit tight there to give the ball back to Boyd. Boyd's long throw. And bit of jostling there around O'Neill.
Free kick certainly given against O'Neill. He's not happy with it, but as it comes in, you see, I think they're both at it. You can see, but unfortunately for O'Neill, the referee doesn't see Petrich's little tug on his shirt. It's something that goes on so often in the 18-yard box these days.
One of the defenders stripped to the trade, and Petrich made it work for him, and Rangers done. Stubbs played it, he knew there wasn't enough on the pass. Just a bit obvious at times, Celtic.
I think that's the one thing that Tommy Burns in a couple of minutes' time will be saying to his players. We're at home, but they really, although they've enjoyed huge possession and pressure, apart from that one real set piece from Van Hooijdonk, they've not really made Andy Gorham work enough. You would expect them to be making saves, well, certainly more than the couple he's made.
Maybe there's work for Gorham coming up here. This is Di Canio. He's done well to get it back from Moore. Still the Italian. Di Canio, oh, and the Vicos was taken a bit by surprise. They expected Di Canio to shoot.
I think everyone did. He did ever so well, not only to win it back when he'd lost it, but to cut in. Feint a couple of times with his shot. That's a wonderful reverse pass. And if Vicos had been coming the other way, or going the other way rather than coming out, then it might well have had a different result. Lovely football from Di Canio. Quite amazing, Mark, because this is the kind of half where if you eliminate Brian O'Neill's mistake, Tommy Burns would be going in at half-time thinking, yeah, we've played well. We've really put them to the task. We haven't quite got the goal, lads, but keep it going. But instead, he's standing there thinking, 1-0, how do we get back into the game? What can I do? What can my players do?
And of course, he's got Georges Cadet on the bench, who was certainly amongst the goals when he picked up that injury, a hamstring in Hamburg back in September. Here is O'Neill. Tom. O'Neill. Well, for the losers, it's a dog's life until the next derby comes around. And Rangers at the moment hoping to get to the halfway mark. In the winning situation as Van Hooijdonk tries to get to the post. Petric defends well. Grant. Van Hooijdonk has got long legs, but not long enough. And he's going to now pick up a problem for colliding with Gorham.
Well, the ball was just played gently back in, and as they both go for it, Gorham comes out, the arms are out. I mean, I think it's a token gesture, I have to say. I think he's a little unlucky that that's a yellow card. I didn't think it was an elbow, I didn't think it was a great deal of intent from Pierre Van Hooijdonk. It was a gesture more than anything. The arms went up, I think, half to protect himself from Andy Gorham, who was coming out.
Well, there's no denying the determination that Celtic is showing to try and repair the damage, but the tally of yellow cards is certainly rising. And Andy Gorham is astute enough to stay down for long enough. Tom. Into the third minute of time added on at the end of the first half. And that's where Hugh Dallas draws it to a close. The goal came in the 8th minute, and it came to Rangers. Brian O'Neill had lost it, and Brian Laudrup really cashed in with all his quality. And so Celtic, coming in as league leaders, playing catch-up football in this game, and hoping that they won't be playing catch-up football in the championship race again. They trail on their own ground at half-time by 1-0.
Looking ahead to next Sunday, Super Sunday at 3 on Sky Sports 1 in the English Premiership. Derby County against Middlesbrough from the baseball ground. Tonight we're at Celtic Park. It's the old firm, Celtic against Rangers, and it's half-time. Rangers in front by 1-0. 4 attempts on goal per side, but Rangers have been on target with all 4 of them. Celtic have forced the majority of the corners so far. High foul count in the first half for Celtic. And Celtic with 4 men booked. Boyd, Di Canio, Stubbs and Van Hooijdonk. McInnes of Rangers also booked. And 4 of those 5 bookings coming in one 7-minute spell in the first half. Celtic have dominated territorially and with possession. But Rangers have the lead. With me watching it, Mick McCarthy, former Celtic player, now the Republic of Ireland boss, and former Rangers star Gordon Smith. Gordon, do Rangers deserve the lead?
To be honest with you, Paul, it's like watching a familiar movie. The Rangers-Celtic games of recent seasons have been exactly like this. Rangers sitting back, soaking up the pressure, hitting Celtic on the break, and that's, you know, you can look at the statistics and say Celtic have got more pressure, more of the ball, but the goal attempts prove it. 4 on target, and they've been catching Celtic out once again.
Make the early goal for Rangers the result of a defender's mistake. As a former defender yourself, what goes on here?
Well, Brian, there'll be nobody more disappointed than Brian O'Neill here. I was just saying to Gordon, there's a school of thought, certainly in my position, I would have just turned them. I was just going to, once you let the ball bounce as a defender. Right, I was a bit disappointed with Stubbs, actually. He's actually let Brian Laudrup run at him and open the goal up. For me, all right, he's made his mistake here. For me, I think Stubbs should be showing him down on his left foot. He's got to show him down there on his left-hand side. Laudrup's done it particularly well, but he's letting him open the goal up.
World-class finish, Gordon?
Superb finish. Laudrup's a great player. We've seen it already tonight. He's playing a lone furrow himself, but every time he gets the ball, it spells danger for Celtic, and that's a good finish at that early stage of the game, before the young keepers even had a chance to touch the ball, settle himself in the match. He's having to pick it out of the net.
Dream start then for Rangers. It took Celtic an awful long time for them to work Andy Gorham in goal.
Yeah, Van Hooijdonk's particularly good with free kicks. Andy Gorham, I think he was just concerned with getting a lot of power and getting that away, rather than trying to catch it. It's one that you could say he probably could have caught it, but the one thing you don't want to do is leave it for defenders, for strikers coming in. So Gorham's just decided to punch that away, get it out of the way, like continental goalkeepers do nowadays.
Gorham got a fine block on the free kick, Mick, but was this an even better piece of goalkeeping for you immediately afterwards?
I think it was. I think he just shows his experience and his class here. He stands up long enough and he reads it. But when you see on slow motion from a different angle, you wonder, could Donnelly have actually waited for him to go down and put it across him? It's good, great goalkeeping. That's
why Gorham's particularly good. Watch him read this.
He's
actually anticipating the cross and comes out. We saw also the one he went down at, the little reverse pass from Di Canio when Vikos was through. Yeah. He saw the pass coming. It was like a defender getting out there, who blocked it. Tremendous goalkeeping.
One vastly experienced man in goal for Rangers and a rookie, almost a rookie, at the other end. But Stuart Kerr came up with a big save here near the finish of this first half.
This is brilliant. Actually, the two defenders are very wide apart there, and Brian Laudrup's done a great job getting in between them. But again, here he is. He's stood up. He's held his ground. He's made a great save. You see Gascoigne's playing hell up with Laudrup because he could have squared it to him. Terrific save.
Yeah, it's just the pace of Laudrup again. The pace is phenomenal, but I was pleased for young keeper here. He needed this. This has probably settled down greatly. It's a very, very good reaction save.
Hasn't touched the ball much in the first half, has he?
No, it's very little to do. I mean, it has been all Celtic, but as I said before, we've seen that pattern before, Celtic on top, and then they get caught in the break. It's happened the last
That makes it hard as well, you know, as a keeper, or as a defender even, when you haven't got the ball. You need to be involved as a defender or a keeper, so it's a great save.
Mick, how does Celtic get back in this second half?
Well, I was watching the first half then. I kept saying they were getting 2v1 down the outside because the two lads were Gascoigne and whatever the lad's name is playing up front on the side of Laudrup. They're not particularly stopping the fullbacks getting forward, and they were getting 2v1 on their wing-backs, and they're having a bit of joy. And I think if they can continue doing that, they will get a bit of joy out of it.
Gordon, is there any likelihood that Tommy Burns will make a change, do you feel?
It might be a bit early in the game to do that because of it so much of the play, but I think Cadet will appear at some stage. He's not played for quite some time, he's had injury problems, but he's such a good striker that they want to get him on there.
One thought finally about Rangers. We mentioned off camera that it's a new system for them. Do you feel it works in a game like this?
Well, they've played that way before, not quite the same as this. They played against Ajax with no strikers, and they're doing it again tonight, and they haven't played that way against Celtic before.
Well, it's working to this point. Rangers in front at half-time. Celtic with 45 minutes to come back. Can they protect their perfect home record? We shall see after this. Sevilla against Real Madrid in the Spanish League, Sunday at 6:30 on Sky Sports 1. We're at half-time here at Celtic Park. The big old firm derby. Rangers just shading it so far. Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Paul. Celtic faced with a familiar puzzle to try and solve. With Brian Laudrup's goal allowing Rangers to lead the way and maybe by the end of the evening lead the table again. But Celtic will be reminded, I'm sure, at half-time that a draw would not be the worst result for them. It would keep them on top of their great rivals by this slender margin of just one goal. Level on points and goal difference, except to that point of one goal. Rangers scoring in the 8th minute, and they've had to do a lot of defending in the last third without really being opened up very much, Andy.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Mark, when you consider how little work that Andy Gordon's had to do in his return to the game. And that'll be the one thing that they'll have concentrated on at half-time, I think. Make the goalkeeper work a little bit more. And there's an awful lot of football to be played in this match yet. Both managers know it.
Gascoigne caught by the first challenge of the second half from Weghorst. Right under the nose of the referee. Celtic with 4 players booked in the first half, remember. Weghorst not amongst them. Well, this rebuilt stadium, tremendous tribute to Celtic's ambition. Something they have been accused of lacking in the past. But money has been invested in the transfer market, bringing the likes of Bucanio here. More transfer talk in the evening paper in Glasgow tonight involving Jonas Tern, the Swedish midfield player, who's now with Roma, supposedly a target for Celtic. And their principal target to get back into this match, and Donnelly pressing the Swede that Rangers have. Joachim Björklund, Jockey Björklund, of course, as he's now known here. Cleland. Gascoigne just getting there in front of Grant. Cleland. Trying to link up with Moore, but Celtic have it with Donnelly, who was one of their better performers, we felt, in the first half. The first half in which Celtic had bags of possession, but not enough penetration. Bucanio. Quick feet, wearing the distinctive boots. Here's Tom. Already setting up for the same sort of shape to the game as we had in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, plenty of possession in these areas. But can Celtic hurt Rangers when it really matters? And that's in the final third.
Laudrup. Now Robertson. Alberts making a little dart into the central striking position. Robertson accelerating, but matched, importantly for Celtic, by McNamara. And Hoydonk and Bucanio waiting well upfield. Nothing coming quickly forward from Celtic. Patience very much the order of the day. O'Neill. McNamara again. One of the real bright young talents in the Scottish game.
Well, once again, they face 9 blue shirts, banked up in front of the ball.
Drawn out of the middle. And McInnes tucking in there to help clear. But Celtic have the throw. And surely there's got to be a spell in the second half when they will be able to put together more consistent pressure on Rangers at the back. Gascoigne though steering it away. Stubbs. High angle right for Di Canio. Here's Tom. And Herdon, the obvious target in the centre. Rangers do well to stop Tom whipping it in quickly. Gascoigne needed all the experience of Richard Gough really to cope with that one, which was suddenly fizzed rather back at his feet by the midfield man.
I actually think Celtic might like Rangers to have a bit more pressure, a bit more of the game. This is offside. It's a tight decision. I think it's probably right, but it was a tight decision. Because if Rangers do get a bit more possession, then it might mean that 1 or 2 get dragged upfield. And then it might mean that Celtic can actually break with a little bit of pace and find 1 or 2 gaps. At the moment, Rangers are being allowed, when Celtic get possession for the majority, to just funnel back, get that 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs tucked in as a 5, get the 2 blockers in midfield, and even Alberts and Gascoigne, to be fair, are doing their bit defensively at the beginning of this second half. Only Laudrup really being given licence not to do any defensive work.
Van Hooydonk. He's penalised. A little shove on Björklund. I mean, there hasn't been much evidence of it tonight, but do you think this 9 in a row is actually getting to the players themselves?
Actually, talking to a couple of people today, I think both clubs will be glad when it's over, Mark, I have to say. I think it does get to you. Not the players as much, but it's the supporters that means so much to. And I think once it's all over, both sets of footballers will be particularly pleased, one way or the other.
Dallas having a word with Petric and Di Canio. A bit of afters after the earlier incident. And the distinctive footwear that belongs to Celtic's Italian. And so many players wearing blue shirts in that part of the pitch. Celtic trying to thread a miracle ball really through it. The forest of opponents. McNamara it was that time. The thing is, for all the size of Van Hooydonk through the centre, he's not the player who wants everything lumped in the air for him to try and win something in the percentage way. Oh, but Cleland is in a great position here for Rangers. Cuts it back for Laudrup.
Well, Andy Tom will be pretty pleased, Mark, because he just stood and let Cleland run in behind him. I don't know whether he thought he was offside, but he just stood and let him run. Cleland didn't need any encouragement. Look at Tom, he starts to go, and then he checks. He just stops. He's not offside, no way. And he shouldn't do that, he should be tracking him all the way. The only fortunate thing for Andres Thomas, for once, Laudrup's first touch wasn't what we've come to expect, assured.
Well, Tom very much a player with attacking instincts. Not naturally picking up the defensive side of his job done. Di Canio. Well, there's space here for Celtic. Made by Di Canio's run.
Well, that's the first time, isn't it, Mark, that really Di Canio has been able not only to run at them, but to run at them in dangerous areas. Wonderful skill there, and now he's clear. The only disappointment, he hits the front man.
McNamara puts it back in again. Stubbs. Rangers quite happy to play on the break. McInnes, but it's given Alberts no chance to chase on. Andy, you said right at the start that it would be a big test of Celtic's concentration defensively. And certainly the game was shaped up that way, but Tom Boyd trying to exploit some forward areas in wide positions that he can do down one side, maybe McNamara down the other for Tommy Burns' team. Van Hooijdonk. Well, that was Donnelly. It wasn't an easy chance.
He was always under pressure from David Robertson. But Van Hooijdonk, he works the space really well, just uses his body to create the space. And Donnelly's not got an easy chance. If he's hitting the target, he might well be hitting David Robertson. So he's got to really clear Robertson. But by clearing Robertson, he gets underneath it and doesn't call upon Andy Gorham to do anything. But just one or two signs, the Canio's run, that chance there, that perhaps Celtic are just growing a little bit of confidence and belief more than anything.
Di Canio, Donnelly, McNamara is well forward. Celtic have got a lot of players in this attack. McNamara can't get the drop on Robertson, but Celtic continue to tally up the corners. That's not good enough. Well, they might log this as a first in the Old Firm. Neither wearing green or blue.
I'll tell you, there won't be many volunteers going to catch it about you.
What is it, a fox?
I think it is, Martin. 10 out of 10 for nature observation, Mr. Tyler. There is absolutely nowhere for the poor animal to go, that's the problem. We could be here a while.
Oh, I think he's had enough of the noise.
Well,
an unforeseen delay.
He'll have a story to tell when he gets home, won't he?
O'Neill! Trying to outfox the opposition.
Close. Again, it's another chance for O'Neill and Bjorklund. And this time O'Neill's ahead of him. He's a little bit unlucky. I think the ball's a fraction too high for him. He's at full stretch. And he can't get above it and get it down.
Well, Andy Gorham not taking the goal kick, maybe down to the hip problem. Walter Smith was very keen not just to play him because of the effect it might have on Celtic's morale, but to play him in a way that would not hamper his availability for forthcoming matches. There was a scenario being mapped out before this game started, because Celtic played twice more before Rangers' next league game, that Celtic might end up 9 points clear of the old enemy. No one's thinking about that at the moment. Rangers might be 3 points clear at the top.
It's quite fascinatingly poised, this match tonight, because Celtic have got such impetus in the game, Mark. You just wonder if they were to get the goal, if they were to get the equaliser, could Rangers suddenly change the way they've been, really camped in their own half and start to put one or two attacks together themselves? Because having that head of steam, being on the front foot, well, you can imagine that if Celtic get one now, then they might well be able to create one or two more chances.
Rangers, of course, would then send on other scourge of Celtic, Alistair McCoist. But here's Cleland. Moore making himself available well. Alberts! Straight at the goalkeeper, and there might have been more in it for Rangers. Here comes Celtic.
Well, if Celtic have had all the pressure and all the possession, Rangers have had the chances. That's now two headers from Alberts, and that one, I think, well, he could have done better. He's headed it straight at Stuart Kerr.
Well, that was clever play by Tom. He lured Moore into the foul. This was the chance.
It's a great ball in. Perfectly delivered. Alberts is onside, and from what, no more than 7 or 8 yards. He really should be doing better.
A let-off for Celtic. Now they will want to make as much as they can of this free kick. Earned by Tom, taken by Donnelly. And the referee had a look across.
Just for a minute, Martin, watch this as it comes in and Tom and Richard Gough go for it. I mean, the complaints are that Gough's all over Andreas Tom. Certainly the arm was there. But they just look a touch unsettled, Rangers defensively, where they didn't in the first half.
Well, they're the masters of these smash and grab raids, Rangers. But they've scored unusually early in this game, and it's a long time to defend a lead. Canio is stopped in his tracks, and the Celtic fans are livid about that.
Well, my first impression was once again, Martin, he was offside as the ball was played. There it's played, I mean, it's tight, he's on line in fact. And you can see how late the linesman is. Now, on line and with doubt means let the forward go. Let the attacking player go. In that case, the linesman's wrong.
Half an hour to go in a match that won't settle the championship, just to remind you of that. But it will play such an important part, the result, in the whole mood of this fascinating contest between the two Glaswegian giants.
Well, it can't be long if it stays like this before you see Cadet come onto the pitch. I think it can only be minutes rather than, well, 15-20, Martin, because they need a goal, they need something to happen for them.
Di Canio trying to make it happen against Petric. Di Canio's cross, Van Hooijdonk. Di Canio up again, and his was the last touch, and it's a goal kick. The amplification of the noise here, I don't know how you're perceiving it back at home, but it is truly amazing, the atmosphere at Celtic Park tonight.
And the cheer is, Mark, I think Cadet's been called from behind the goal where he's been warming up, making his way along the touchline. And I just feel sure that he's got to change it, Tommy, if he wants something to happen.
Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne's played with impressive composure. But he's stopped by Boyd, who went in with impressive determination. Tom going ahead of Tom Boyd. Here he is, Andreas Tom. Gough backpedaling. Tom's past him, and Andy Gorham has made the right goalkeeping decision yet again.
Well, football's all about making decisions. Whether you're a defender, whether you're a striker, and whether you're a goalkeeper. And once again, Gorham's up to it. Tom makes a brilliant run and drives it across the face of the 6-yard box. But once again, Gorham was there.
Counter-attack was orchestrated by Laudrup. Robertson, right-footed, tried to bend it. Stuart Kerr claimed it.
Well, there's one or two tired legs we might begin to see in the last half hour. That might open it up, and that might just prove an advantage to Celtic. Both warming up, McKinley and Cadet ready to come on.
Grant. McNamara. Tom. Rangers have regrouped well. Walter Smith will be happy with the shape of his side at the moment defensively. Forcing Celtic back, but now they've conceded rather unnecessarily a free kick. Petric on Di Canio, who was going nowhere when he was fouled. Off comes Brian O'Neill. On comes Tosh McKinley, wearing 12. Off comes Andy Tom. And Georges Cadet, the player from Portugal who's made such an impact in a short time here in Scotland. Back from injury, and maybe he'll be the catalyst for a Celtic revival here. McKinley lost his place from the Celtic side, suspended after being sent off against Rangers in the last Old Firm clash at Ibrox.
Well, he'll go straight to left-back area. Tom Boyd, I think, will move into centre-back alongside Stubbs. And a straight swap, Cadet for Andres Tom.
Can Celtic grasp the nettle here? Rangers find a way out of trouble again through Laudrup and Gascoigne. The confusion there between Weghorst and McNamara, and Alberts gets it to Laudrup, and he gets it to Gascoigne, who's offside.
Lovely break. That's always a danger. I thought Laudrup was offside there, and I didn't think Gascoigne was offside there, so eventually got it right.
Bit of impeding of Van Hooijdonk by Björklund.
Well, there's no doubt he'll fancy this, Pierre Van Hooijdonk. I think it's a free kick, but it's a kind of range he'll fancy. But you do think from that kind of distance it's going to take something special to beat Gorham.
The only thing against Andy Gorham, he hasn't been able to do that much training. He is a man, as we all know, who needs to keep in shape. But he's had a splendid return so far. Di Canio doesn't take the direct route. He spotted Tosh McKinley.
That was a decent ball.
Tommy Burns hopes that the supply from the left-hand side will get better. That's one of McKinley's strengths.
That was a decent ball in, Mark. I tell you, if you're a striker, all you want is somebody to get wide and do what McKinley does here. Put it in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. You can't ask for much better. It's perhaps a touch heavy, but no more.
25 minutes to go. That early goal for Rangers. And Celtic still have not been able to threaten, really, a reply for all the midfield pressure. Well, they've been able to knock the ball out in the middle third of the field. Just occasionally, Rangers have needed Gorham, and he's been impeccable. Van Hooijdonk. There's Goff. Gorham has the kick this time.
He dealt with that brilliantly. Couldn't believe that Richard Goff actually poked it back to him. That kind of distance, anything could have happened. But Rangers are just camped on the edge of the 18-yard box. And this match is just all about whether Celtic can break them down.
Van Hooijdonk, well won by Goff. Gascoigne can't get it very far away, but Alberts steps in. McNamara. Di Canio ahead of him down the touchline. Well watched. There's a bit of room here for Cadet. Now Donley. Weghorst, and Richard Goff got in the way. Cadet.
Well, what a
bit
captain's
rusty as the ball dropped, but Richard Goff spared Rangers the need of Andy Gorham then.
That's a magnificent block. You talk about goals winning matches, but it's at times like this when defenders can actually win you a game. Goff gets attracted out there and Cadet slips him. But watch the way he gets back in. He's not intent just to let it settle. Weghorst thinks, I'll pick my spot, and Goff says, no you won't. That's a magnificent block.
But are Celtic getting closer?
Well, I said it 15 minutes ago, there was a little aura about a bit of uncertainty at the back there, and I still think it's there. They've been forced deeper and deeper back.
Well, Alberts was unlucky, then lucky, with a couple of ricochets.
I just think, Mark, we assume Rangers won't get another. They're certainly not going to go and look recklessly for another. Then the question is, and it will be until the end of the match, will Celtic be good enough to not only create an opening, but to get one past Gorham?
Cleland. Well, what they're doing in attack is really saying, well, can Laudrup on his own, with a bit of prompting maybe from Gascoigne. Alberts certainly has license to push on, but not too many others. McInnes. Here's Cleland. Gascoigne took that beautifully. The pass for Laudrup. Kerr comes off his line. Penalty. Penalty for Rangers.
My first reaction's a penalty, I have to say. There's no doubt Laudrup gets to the ball first. It's a magnificent pass from Gascoigne, so aware. Now let's have a look at this closely. I thought Laudrup got there. He does. The goalkeeper takes him. There can be no doubt, in my opinion. That's a penalty. The referee gets that one right.
And Celtic have got players around Hugh Dallas, some of whom are already on the yellow card in this game. And the referee just reached for the pocket to fend them off, really.
Well, somebody's in trouble, Matt. He's looking to call someone over. I'm not sure who.
And no one's going. And Gascoigne has to wait. It's McNamara who shows the number 4.
Well, here's nerves for the penalty taker. He's had to wait quite a time.
Well, a man for the big stage. And this is a very big moment. More delaying from Di Canio, who was trying the referee's patience sorely. Gascoigne just settles himself down by respotting the ball. 20 minutes to go. Gascoigne steps up. And Kerr has saved a Paul Gascoigne penalty in his first all-firm game. And he's kept Celtic alive again.
Well, I said right at the beginning, these are games to remember. And this young man will remember that. That's not the best penalty kick Paul Gascoigne will ever take in his life. It's too near to Kerr. It goes the right way. And the young goalkeeper gets his reward.
The goalkeeper who gave away the penalty has made up for his mistake, but he's in the firing line again. And this is Alberts, clean in.
What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Celtic were all over the place. Watch this, trying to play offside. I mean, McKinley's what, 3-4 yards? I think it's tossed McKinley behind everyone else. Is it Tom Boyd? But he does get back in close enough to put Alberts off. Has it tied Tom for Celtic?
Tommy Burns living on the brink, but Celtic haven't toppled over it yet. Cadet. Hits Goff. Run back by Donnelly. It was McInnes who dwelt. Di Canio, deflection, and Gorham is equal to it.
Well, they can nearly commit suicide. Young McInnes, I think it was, trying to play a ball in here. And Celtic get the break. Once again, one or two bodies. Bjorklund, I think, who got the block on it, took the pace off the shot. But what a 20 minutes we've got in store now. That penalty might well have killed off Celtic, made the game safe. It's done the complete opposite. The crowd are up, the players have had a lift. Now Rangers have got to dig deep now to protect this lead.
But dare we ask the question as to why Kerr wasn't sent off in bringing Laudrup down?
Well, he was going away from goal, Laudrup, Martin, and well, I'm never an advocate of players being sent off in that situation.
Well, he stayed on and made a name for himself. 22-year-old Stuart Kerr.
Well, I don't know whether something's happened, Martin, but the linesman's calling over the referee to him. Now, whether someone said something, I don't know. We'll see in a couple of minutes.
Maybe problems down at dugout level here. The referee having a word with the fourth official, Kenny Clark, and with Tommy Burns as well. Now Tommy Burns has left the bench. Now whether that's to pass on a message of a security nature or whether he's actually been ordered from the bench.
I think he's been ordered from the bench.
Confirmation. Van Hooijdonk.
You don't honestly think Tommy Burns would have disappeared up the tunnel to deliver a security message, Mark, do you?
I would have doubted it in these circumstances.
I'm telling you, wouldn't.
That's offside.
That one's slightly easier. Bjorklund almost caused the problem by dropping deeper than his two centre-backs. You watch it here as Cadet makes the run. The ball's played. You can see well offside, 2 or 3 yards in it.
Tommy Burns is back upstairs.
Well, it's been a magnificent event, this match so far.
Celtic, would you feel have been killed off by the penalty? Here they come with McNamara. Van Hooijdonk, McNamara again. And Robertson was actually trying to do more than just get it forward then, trying to pick out Alberts, but the ball had gone out of play. Di Canio. Rangers not happy about the award of the free kick. Di Canio has got it nonetheless as we move towards the final 15 minutes. Celtic still striving for the breakthrough. And Goff making sure that Stubbs can't supply it. Little exchange of views there between the two captains. Tosh McKinley will take the Celtic corner. That's Cadet, who's very good in the air. They regard him in Portugal as the best attacker in the aerial situations that the country's got. Not that time for Celtic. Now stops. Di Canio. Robertson certainly got a piece of the ball. And all Celtic get is a throw. Di Canio left limping. A spectator as McNamara tried to play him across. Donnelly dogged by Derek McInnes, who actually signed for Rangers a year ago today from Morton, but McInnes, trying to play from the back, got his side in trouble.
Well, I can't believe the young lad's trying to do that. I mean, there you're 1-0 up, you're under pressure constantly, and you're trying to flick balls and play little balls. You get your foot behind it, you clear your lines, you get your defender settled. You don't invite unnecessary pressure like this.
Di Canio doing some stretches, still hoping to get back into the game, and he rather gingerly who gets across to the ball here. Corner conceded by Moore. More pressure on the Rangers goal. Di Canio.
Well, nothing wrong with the strike. It was hit fiercely enough and going through as many bodies. A deflection of any of them could have given Gorham a problem.
Rangers are going to make a change, and Derek McInnes, who is in danger of embarrassing his own team on a couple of occasions over the last 5 minutes or so, with I suppose a fault on the right side, trying to pass it from right on the edge of his own penalty area, but he comes off. Peter van Vossen, the Dutchman, comes on with a message for Gascoigne in particular. He might just drop a little deeper into midfield. Van Vossen to play up front with Laudrup.
This might help Celtic, Martin, if Van Vossen does take that position and keep it.
Moore. Here is Laudrup. Gascoigne Fouled by V-Course, free kick taken from the wrong place by Moore.
Imagine what it's like to referee.
I was just thinking that. But to his credit, Hugh Dallas, although the game has got to boiling point on a number of occasions, it's never really boiled over and got totally out of hand, and he must take credit for that. And Vossen was sure that it should have been a corner.
Well, it was a corner. We had a perfect view of that, didn't we? And every viewer at home would have seen that.
McNamara. Well, possession maybe 9/10 of the law, but it doesn't win you football matches. And Celtic still looking for a breakthrough. I mean, losing at home to Rangers is bad enough, but to lose the leadership of the league, they've had it for, what, 12 days? And some of their fans have just been sitting and staring at the table. They've enjoyed it so much. Unless Celtic get a goal, they won't enjoy looking at it tomorrow morning. McNamara. Well, that sums it all up. And Albert can wrap it all up. He's leaving Boyd, who then stretched and played the ball.
That was an absolutely magnificent tackle from Tom Boyd.
And here's Donnelly. Rangers just had to readjust for a moment. Thought they might be celebrating a second goal. Now they're concerned that Celtic could hit back. Bicanio could have teed up Donnelly, decided not to, and he's just taken it behind.
Overdid it. He'd beaten Robertson once, there was no need to turn back and beat him again. But Tom Boyd kept his team in the match. You just wonder, had it been Laudrup running with the ball, would he have caught him? But look at that for perfect timing. Alberts must have thought he was pulling the hammer back to connect and make the game safe. Boyd was having none of it. And you don't often see that in matches. That's total domination of possession for Celtic. But there's that statistic in the top left-hand corner. It's the most important one in an Old Firm match. And it's the only one he's concerned with.
And Celtic haven't done anything yet to threaten in this match the Rangers' domination of Scotland's League Championship. But there's still time, and there's Donnelly, and Goran reached it and turned it aside.
Great save, and the referee hasn't seen it. And this is one decision he's got wrong. I thought it was a brilliant save. Full stretch to his left. Donnelly's allowed time to... Bjorkman backs away and backs away. And there's the touch from the Rangers goalkeeper. Might have been arcing outside the post, but you can't take chances, and he wouldn't have known that. His job was to make the save.
McKinley. That's a fine ball for Cadet. Bicanio. Well, that should be a corner. Nicely played in from the left-hand side initially by Tosh McKinley, who places the ball for the corner now. And well, what is Gough complaining about?
He's complaining to Craig Moore. He's obviously got a marking job on someone, and Moore wasn't there. Gough get caught in between.
Donnelly settles for another Celtic corner. Weghorst.
That's Donnelly's man. Or Moore's man, sorry. Weghorst.
Picked up by Boyd. Only given it straight to Van Bossem. Gascoigne. Van Bossem. And allowed to go on is Alberts. He's got Van Bossem with him. Oh my goodness!
Well,
what an extraordinary sequence. It's a question about active and passive positions to start with, particularly involving Laudrup, but Rangers allowed to go on, and this will haunt Van Bossem.
Well, Laudrup's offside, Alberts isn't, and this should be game, set and match. He can do no more than that, and that's inexcusable, even if it takes a bobble. You just got to roll it into the net. That's unbelievable.
McNamara. It is still Celtic 0, Rangers 1. McKinley, challenged well by Cleland. Celtic's throw. Donnelly, linking up with Van Hooijdonk. Rangers still with defenders in the right positions. Well, we expected a monumental match, and we've certainly had one. And this is Peter Grant for Celtic. Cadet. Donnelly. And Celtic have got a penalty.
It's again Richard Goff. Donnelly in a bit of time at the edge of the box. And Goff was the one who reacted quickest. Raced out to Donnelly. Donnelly nicked it past him. Goff certainly makes contact with Donnelly. Here it is. Watch Donnelly, he nicks the ball past him. That, I'm afraid, is a penalty. As simple as that.
Goff held up his hands. So, Gascoigne's already had his penalty saved for Rangers. It's Pierre Van Hooijdonk to keep his nerve for Celtic and keep them top of the table. And Gorham has matched Kerr's achievement. Extraordinary.
You carry on, Mark. I'm absolutely speechless. This game's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
On we go with a corner. And Van Hooijdonk. No redemption there. Back by McKinley. Here's McNamara. Taken from him. Alberts, half the length of the pitch to go. Boyd catching him again. Playing the ball again.
Well, he just didn't have the legs, it's as simple as that. But this is a game, really, Rangers should have won. Well, quite a while ago. And a game Celtic should now be level on.
That Stubbs, there's not enough weight on it. Cleland puts it out, 4 minutes to go. Both sides have had penalties saved. And that early goal, way back in the 8th minute from Brian Laudrup, is still the only mark on the scoreline, and it means so much to Rangers Football Club.
But what a save from Gorham, Martin. He really had to go full length for that one.
Heartbreak time for Celtic again from Andy Gorham.
And that's why when that team sheet went through that door, about 45 minutes before kick-off, Tommy Burns must have thought, oh no, he's playing.
Laudrup. Teasing two, the third got him. McNamara. Three minutes to go. Lovely flick from Di Canio. Vickers. Cadet trying to get in behind Björklund, who stood his ground. That's what he would say. Celtic had a different interpretation. Just a moment's pause as the ball goes out to remind you what's happening tomorrow night on Sky Sports. First round of the FA Cup, it all gets underway. Woking against Millwall. Millwall, the leaders of Division 2. Moore. And Morton Vickers certainly didn't pull out of that. And I don't think this is time wasting by any means from Craig Moore. He's hurt. Some Celtic fans are leaving.
Not many.
I can't understand why they're going, because still anything could happen on this extraordinary evening at Parkhead. Grant. Still time yet, maybe, for Celtic. Di Canio. Van Hooydonk!
Well, they're looking for a handball,
They
but
certainly are.
whether it was or not, they're thinking handball, they're suggesting handball. It was ominous as Hooydonk got into the near post. Lovely little play from Di Canio again, and this time he does deliver. It is an arm. Whether the referee would have seen that from his position, I'm not sure. But he certainly used the arm.
Boyd. Here's Gascoigne. Losing Boyd. Laudrup. Celtic obviously taking a chance at the back. Andy, you've got to pick a man of the match.
Well, it's well, almost impossible, Mark, but I'm going to give it to the man who's broken Celtic's hearts, not only tonight yet again, but in many other occasions. My man of the match is Andy Gorham.
This is Boyd. Oh, Weghorst has missed his kick, and Celtic have missed another chance.
Yeah, and that was a chance. Any sort of connection there might well have brought the equaliser.
Followed by some great play by Gascoigne, and Van Botten looks Kerr in the eye, and the goalkeeper wins the duel. He's certainly shown his credentials tonight.
Oh, that's a great save yet again. But how many chances are Rangers going to squander one against one? It's understandable in the context of the game that Celtic have got to throw caution to the wind in the last 10 minutes. But Rangers can't believe how many times they could have put this game beyond Celtic. And I still think there's going to be another minute or two played in this match.
Gascoigne, again with quality, and Alberts as well. It would have been a corner.
I have to say, I said about Stuart Kerr at the beginning of the match that he would have had nothing to prepare him for this night. I said it's a night he should savour and remember. He'll do all of those. He'll savour it and he'll remember it. He's performed really, really well for his club tonight. Could do nothing about the goal, but then he's done everything that's been asked of him.
Gascoigne trying to keep it again. And he's done that. Moore. Alves. This is Robertson.
Well, they've got 4 against 4.
Well, a game that could have produced 4 or 5 goals, but Rangers will take the one if it means the win. McKinley. Grant. McNamara has done very well to keep the ball in play. 3rd minute of stoppage time. Di Canio. Gorham. Not with any great difficulty. The man of the match against Celtic on a crucial evening. And Rangers are back on top in Scotland. A massive win for Walter Smith and his team, sealed by an early goal from Brian Laudrup. But that was only part of an extraordinary story. The Rangers players run to Gorham, his penalty save late on from Pierre van Hooijdonk protected the victory, and everything he did on his return to the team was faultless. Stuart Kerr had a splendid game as well, saving the penalty that he gave away, stopping from Gascoigne no less. Other chances, particularly for Rangers, and Van Vossen with an amazing miss, but it didn't matter. This is a sickening blow for Celtic, not able to take the opportunity to really impose themselves on their great rivals, and they are back in the chasing situation yet again. And if the results between these two do settle the championship in this most significant season in Scotland, then Rangers are on course to rattle up 9 in a row. 2 wins out of 2 for the blue side of Glasgow in the Old Firm clashes this season. 8 meetings now since Celtic's last win. The pride, the points, and Andy, the psychology, all going to Rangers tonight.
You said, Mark, that this game doesn't win championships, and you're right, but you'd never guess that looking outside at the scenes. This was a huge game, as big an Old Firm game that I can remember for many a year. It took the same pattern that you and I have seen many, many times over the last 3 or 4 years. Celtic totally dominating possession and pressure, but Rangers yet again coming out on top.
Well, that flag that we just showed you, champions 1997, might be jumping the gun for Rangers, but my goodness, they've still got the drop on the one club capable, you feel, of taking the championship from them. The club desperate to stop them winning 9 in a row. But it's Rangers night tonight by 1-0. Let's join Davy Provan.
Brian, given some of the chances that Rangers had in that second half, do you think you might have saved yourself some of that late anxiety you had?
I think so. I can't believe the chances were missed. But at the end of the day, we beat Celtic 1-0 and we're delighted.
You had a difficult shift tonight playing that lone role up front. How demanding was that?
Quite demanding. I think I need a couple of days off now. But apart from that, I thought we created a lot of chances second half, but 1 goal was enough.
OK, I think we can show you that goal now, Brian. Now, Brian O'Neill took a slip here, but there was a bit of work still to be done, was there not?
Brian O'Neill slipped, and I took the ball and ran towards the Celtic goal, and I just thought, let's try and finish that one, and it ended in net. So,
Andy, how did that look from your end?
Great finish. To be fair, Stuart had no chance with that. It was a great finish, great run.
OK, Rangers squandered a few chances in that second half, Andy, and then we thought you were going to drop 2 points, the penalty to Celtic. Pierre van Hooijdonk stepped up. Was that a lucky guess or an informed guess?
I think everything's luck with penalties. I've missed a few. I think it's the first penalty I've saved for about 8 years. But it's not just a penalty, performance as well. And you've got to mention Stuart Kerr from his first touch. He's picked the ball in it and then produced a show like that. All credit to him, but a great performance for us. When we need it again, we've done it.
How does it feel to be back in the side after, what, a 6-week absence?
It's been a long time, especially when you see the boys dropping points here and there. You just want to be in there helping out. And as soon as we get everybody back fit again, I think we'll go from strength to strength. OK, lads, Andy, you're the man of the match. Brian, perhaps you might present that to Andy.
Congratulations.
Well done, guys.
I could have done with a bike now, no car.
Heroes on both sides, but Rangers have the 3 points. They're back on top in Scotland. Thoughts of Gordon Smith and Mick McCarthy when we come back. Ever wondered what it's like to lose an Old Firm derby? Something like this, I should think. No happy ending for Celtic on home territory. Beaten by Rangers. Here's Walter Smith, the Rangers boss.
Walter, I know you've seen a few Old Firm matches in your time. Have you ever seen anything like that tonight?
Oh, quite incredible. I don't think, for a standard of football, I don't think it was the best football match that I've played in terms of passing or possession of the ball. But I don't think I've ever played in one where there's been as many chances to score goals, simple chances, and saw them missed.
What was going through your mind when Rangers were squandering these chances? Did you always feel that Celtic might get a break at the other end?
Well, the way things have been going, we've been in the lead in a number of games recently, and teams have come back as Celtic, as you would expect them to do, put us under a great deal of pressure then. And you could always see them getting the opportunity to come back, which they did do with the penalty. And, you know, they missed that as well. So it was good to see them missing them as well as their own team.
You came down from the stand to the dugout 3 times in that first half. What was the concern there?
Well, we tried in the game to get Paul Gascoigne and George Alberts to play slightly further forward than they normally do, and two midfield players to sit in. And I felt they were coming back too far in the game, and that we weren't getting an opportunity to play out to them. We had hoped to cause Celtic a problem in that respect. Saying that, we got one or two opportunities, as I thought we might do, going through them in the first half of the game. But I felt that they could have played far further forward than they did do in the first half.
Was that the problem, that the defence was sitting on top of Van de Gorm?
I don't think it was just so much the defence sitting back. We weren't getting out at all, and I felt that